This is an honor. You're a true legend, and we're so honored to have you on our show.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Born in Brazil, what was life like growing up?
Man, I wouldn't change my life for anything. Growing up in Brazil to moving to America.
Take me back to UFC 1, and what were your emotions and feelings going into that?
It's growing up in my family. There's always somebody older and better. So it's always like, come on, guys, give me a chance. Let me prove myself.
Yeah.
So on everything, you see, there's a demonstration, there's a fight, there's a challenge. Okay, can I do it? No, you're too young, or there's somebody better. So when my father and my brother Horton decided to give me the chance to fight on the first UFC, that was my chance, yes, to prove that I can do this, that I can do what the family's been doing for many years.
And that was 3 fights. That was back when you had the 3 fights. It wasn't just like you fought one time a night. You fought 3 or 4 times at UFC 1.
Yes, in the first UFC, there was 3 fights in the same on one night. Second UFC was actually 4 fights in one night. But on the first one, there was 3 fights one night. There was no gloves, no time limit, no weight division, no rules. Pretty much it's just no eye gouging and no biting. That was the only rules not allowed.
Didn't he bite you when you were choking him? I thought he was biting you.
Before, when on the finals with Geraldo Gordon on the first UFC, as soon as I took him down, he took a bite on my ear. I took him down, I got on top of him, my mouth on him. He took a bite on my ear. So that's when I pulled my ear off, put it off his mouth. I was like, dude, you're cheating. He just gave me a look like, so what? That's when I got the choke. I hold it a little longer.
Good for you. He's trying to be like Mike Tyson.
Plus, on the previous fight against Ken Shamrock, when I choke him out, I let go the choke and he tried to continue.
Yeah.
So it was like, man, it's a men's rule, men's agreement, and the guys are cheating. So come on. So the finals, I hold on the choke a little longer, make sure the referee saw that he was tapping.
I love it.
And you also won at UFC 2 and defended your title. I guess was it a title back then, or it was just like a championship?
It was a straight championship. There was because there was no weight division, so there was no titles yet.
Yeah,
it was open weight. I was 178, 180 at the time, 178 at the time, fighting guys 250, 270 pounds. So yeah, there was no title back then. It was just a straight the champion. You win, you're the champion.
Yeah, exactly. What would you say your favorite submission is?
I would say my favorite submission or move is the one that I can pull it off.
Yeah.
Sometimes, let's say I like the arm lock, but the opponent won't give me a chance to go for the arm. So you got to know all of them, and with whichever one that I can pull it off, it's what he gives to me when he makes a mistake.
Yeah. And see, I personally have always loved the BJJ, and because I'm the small guy, I'm only like 5'5", 135 pounds, and all my friends my whole life have all been big Mike size or bigger than me, and like they're always the ones on top of me pounding on me, and I'm having to hit them with like a guillotine from the bottom, or like even a head scissors I hit my one buddy with once, and a triangle. And
but the idea for the smaller person is not even to be able to beat the bigger person. Is to be able not, if you don't lose, you put a guy 100 pounds lighter than you fighting you, and he doesn't lose. Who do you think won?
Yeah.
The morally, who won that fight? It was the smaller guy. As long as you don't lose, you're fine. And Jiu-Jitsu gives you the ability not to lose. You see, it's not, if you're going to win, that's a different question. You see, it's not, you cannot walk in with the mentality of, I'm going to beat the opponent. No, I'm going to walk in not to lose, simply because he's bigger than me. Now, give me somebody 100 pounds lighter than me.
Yeah.
It changed the whole game, you see?
Yeah. I know what happened, but for the people that might not know, what happened at UFC 3?
UFC 3, I fought my first fight with Kimo Leopoldo, and was a wrong strategy. I tried to match strength with him, and both of us got exhausted. I finally caught him in an arm lock. The fight was about maybe 5 minutes. Back then, there was no time limit, so it was until somebody quit. But I tried to match strength, and the guy was 250 pounds, man, solid, just built by the gods, man, just chisel. So I tried to match strength with him, and he was super strong. And we were both dead tired. I won. I submitted him in arm lock. I go back to the locker room. I had about maybe 10 minutes in between one fight and the other, 15 minutes the most. So my brothers stripped me down the gi, took my gi off, threw me in a cold shower, dry me up, put me back in the gi, and we got to go again. The next fight finished fast, so it's time for me to get back. There was no, since it was a tournament style, so depend how the next fight goes, you got to go back again.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
The next fight lasts 20 minutes, I have 20 minutes to rest. But if the next fight takes a minute, fast knockout, I'm up next again. Got to go back again. There's no intermission. There was no time to rest. I had about maybe 15 minutes in between fights. I get back out. It was dehydration. So as soon as I walk in the cage, everything shuts down, blackout in front of me. I can hear everybody. John McCarthy came up to me and said, "Hey, are you ready?" I say, "Yes, I am." As soon as I feel him walk away, I turn around and told my brothers, my father, "Guys, I can't see a thing." I was pretty much dehydration, passed out, staying up. I turned around, I was like, "Guys, I can't see anything. Do something." So McCarthy saw something was wrong, came back and talked to me again. "Hey, I feel him coming back." He's like, "Are you all right? Is everything okay?" I turned around, I was like, "Yep, I'm ready. I'm okay." As soon as I feel him walk away, I turned around again, told my brothers, my cousin, my father's like, "Something's not right. Point me in the right direction." So
wow.
Couldn't see a thing. So that's what my brother says. Let's not confuse being tough with stupidity. Yeah. You already proved that you're tough by stepping the cage, and fighting, but continue when you cannot see, that will be stupidity. So he threw the towel.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Like, I honestly wonder if fighters these days could even do that, like back and back and back. Like nowadays, they complain when they get like a month or 2 month like call. They're like, "Oh, you got to come back for another fight." I mean, you were fighting a couple of fights in one night.
4 fights in one night.
Yeah.
Crazy.
With no time limit, no weight division, no gloves.
That's crazy. When you say you lose your vision, it reminds me of that scene from Bloodsport where Van Damme couldn't see and he's trying to feel around.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
And yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm old, man. I remember that movie.
Yeah. And then UFC 4, you beat Dan Severn after the pay-per-view had ended.
That was yes. They had a 2-hour window for the pay-per-view. And I think went over like a minute and a half over the time, the 2-hour window. So until then, the commentators were like, "Man, Royce is losing. Dan Severn was inside of my guard on top of me. And I'm just playing defense. And then the pay-per-view shut off. A minute later, I got him in a triangle.
Yeah.
Submit him.
Yeah, and I read that all the people wanted their money back from the pay-per-view because they didn't get to see the ending.
I heard it was one of the biggest, at the time, was the biggest pay-per-view, but then they had to refund a lot of people because they didn't finish the show. So it was the biggest, but it was the smallest.
Did you fight him more than once or just the one time?
I only fought Dan Severn once.
Okay.
Only need one time.
That's right. Yeah, I know. A couple of years ago, I think he called you out like 5 or 6 years after you're fighting.
Yeah.
They always want a rematch.
Yeah.
All of them. They're always asking to get a rematch.
So
get in line. That's what I tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah.